Ken doing?
Ken is wonderful.
Y'all plan a trip yet? I know you plan trips. Did y'all plan a trip yet?
We are going to Aruba in October.
You in Aruba in October? And then you moving in?
No.
You gonna get rid of the spot in Brooklyn?
No.
So what the fuck kind of relationship is this?
When I'm ready, stop adding pressure.
He needs to
I
know.
like being able to have my separate space sometimes.
That shit sounds crazy pants right now, right?
Why?
Because why travel together if you gonna live apart?
You can travel all the time with somebody and still want your space.
No.
Why? Why doesn't that make sense? It doesn't make sense to you.
Yeah, because y'all are in a relationship doing relationshipy things.
Right.
Like you watch the fucking NFL draft. Who does that and doesn't live with the man? He watches your reality shows. Who the hell does that and doesn't live with the woman? What the fuck is that?
We kind of live together, but...
He got keys?
Yeah.
He got keys to Queens?
Yeah.
You got keys here?
Yes.
Okay, easy with the voice.
You're asking me questions, I'm answering them.
Would you give me a little energy?
No.
You could just say yes.
I promise.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
I promise you, no energy.
Okay, so I'm good then. The sets of keys were good.
No,
because the keys is the trust, so we're good.
I mean, all right.
The keys is the trust.
The keys for a long time.
Okay, all right, don't blow them up. Good. I always gotta give Ken. You let him know. I'm holding it down.
Continue.
Because Kid hooked. All right, this is industry rule number 4080.
Industry rule number 4080. Industry rule number 4080. Record company people are shady. Industry rule number 4080. Record company people are shady.
This is Tally, and back in all her glory is Miss Katia, aka Master Killer. But y'all call her Master Killer. Okay. Oh, what's the name of the company?
Tasteful Cravings.
Spell it, because she always messes that up.
Tasteful, spelled like tasteful. Cravings with a K instead of a C.
Just to put in the closet.
You ain't kicked out of me because these conversations are gonna be hilarious.
Okay. I'm not having no dude conversation. He's gonna get his ass kicked.
Recording.
Okay.
Oh, oops.
Oh, we're back. Should we start over?
And we're back. I forgot where we were.
You forgot where we were?
I do.
Okay, that's all right. I'll lay it up for you, okay? This is industry rule number 4080. Welcome back. This is episode 20 for us. You've been in how many?
We've been in one.
Okay. I think 2.
Has it been 2?
I think it's 2. I think.
2.
I think you've been drinking.
Not even gonna hold you. I did have one drink before I came here. I had to get my mind together.
You wasn't together?
No.
Because you didn't know? Because you know when I get talking real fast, it gets like epileptic for you. You be like, slow the fuck down.
Yeah, today was a day. But
we're good.
Nonetheless, I'm here.
But we're good. So Katia is back, but we all call her Master Killer. The whole world's gonna call her Master Killer. Her mama named her Katia though. Okay. She's back, and I asked how you were doing. You're good? Yeah. And I said last time we spoke, life was lifing. We both kind of walked in here. Like, good thing we actually did the podcast because we was in a space right before we did it. Like, it's kind of tough times right now. How you been holding up since then?
I've been good. I've been really good, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What has made the transition?
I've just been focusing on me.
Mm-hmm.
That's really been the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. And just working on Tasteful Cravings, trying to get it to the next level.
All right.
Not always easy, but you know.
If you build it, they will come. What's been the biggest difference since the last time you was here to now with Tasteful Cravings?
I actually have a few consistent clients, so that's been helpful. And I've been able to get a little more creative with the cooking instead of making the same meals all the time. I kind of try to introduce different things to them. Like, I have one of my consistent clients is actually a relative, and they just want to eat the same stuff all the time, and that gets a little boring to me and repetitive. So I'm like, why don't you try this vegetable? And they're like, I don't really like it. But then I made it and I put a little twist on it, and they actually were like, oh, okay, I don't want to do it all the time, but
I mean,
I can do it, like once in a while. So that's been cool.
Okay. Now, your core client base, what area of what you're doing are they leaning on? Because I know you do like meal prep, then you also do cooking, you also do catering. Like which area? Is it just meal prep? Is it meals itself? Like what are they focused on
It's
right
been
now?
a combination of both, actually. I've had a few people ask for just the meal prepping, or some people will be like, oh, can you make Sunday dinner? And I'll ask them, okay, so what is it that you want for Sunday dinner? And they'll tell me. So that's been fun. Meal prepping is really easy for me. Like, I can do that.
That's in your sleep.
Yeah.
That's breathing.
It really doesn't take anything for me to do that.
Really? Okay, so you can't come here and talk about food and not bring food. So you bought food, right?
I only brought very little food because I didn't really know what everyone's palate was.
No, palate. That's somebody that fucking cooks for a living. They say the word palate and shit. Okay. So we will be partaking in something at some point in
Yeah,
time.
you guys can give your honest opinion. I'm not.
You ready? You got thick skin, right? Now you're a little sensitive. I know about that already.
I'm a little sensitive.
It's okay.
But you know what? That's fine. If you like it, you like it.
If you don't, I just
You
won't.
can tell me if you don't.
Really? You won't really give a shit though, but it's okay.
No, I do care. This
Okay.
is something I'm passionate about, so I do.
Okay. Easy. And one more time. Give them the name of this thing that you like slapping people about.
So the name of the business is Tasteful Cravings. Tasteful spelled the way it's supposed to be. Cravings with a K instead of a C.
IG?
Yes, Tasteful Cravings.
Any place else? So it's basically IG right now and they connect to you through there.
Yes. And the email is tastefulcravings@gmail.com.
Okay. Everything here is Gotham Jungle, Gotham Jungle, Gotham Jungle. You'll see tags around here somewhere at some point in time. Outside of that, what have you been enjoying lately? I remember you specifically tagging me and saying, you should watch this Usher Taylor thing. It's really cool. I think you really might like it. And I was like, he's Uncle Usher. I've heard a little songs. I don't really care. But you was into it though. You like so.
Oh, because I'm an Usher fan.
Okay, I don't need.
I've
Okay,
always loved Usher. You asked me about it. I'm telling you about it.
Jesus
And now you
Christ. Okay, go ahead.
Did you watch it?
No,
Why?
because you watched enough for both of us.
I only watched it once.
It's like the Janae Aiko song with Drake. I love you enough for the both of us.
So you weren't in the least bit intrigued? Wow.
I'm good. I'll catch it. I'll go to sleep one night and watch it. But I'm not trying to undo it. I want you to, I want you to let people know that they're missing something. It's good. Look, he's transitioning. He's transitioning very well within his uncle status. You know what I'm saying? The residency in Las Vegas has been pretty successful. His personal life has been a little bit batshit crazy. But outside of that, his professional life, he's been doing pretty strong things. And this is pretty cute. He might actually start a thing where you're going to see legacy artists doing this more often. You know what I mean? Like if R. Kelly was out of jail, he might do it. That's a joke. But keep going. What you think?
I think Usher has always been comfortable in who he is as an artist.
Okay. Thank you, L.A. Reid.
It's just everyone else has been trying to put him in a box with other artists. Like, I thought it was just insane. And I am a big Chris Brown fan.
Uh-oh.
But I know Chris Brown cannot hold a candle to Usher. He just cannot. And
Comments on the bottom.
I will debate anybody.
Comments on the bottom.
In that conversation.
Comments on the
because
bottom.
people that know real singing will agree to that. And if you don't, then I don't really know what
I'm not conflicting your statement. I'm saying Chris Brown doesn't really sing.
he sings, but he doesn't sing better than Usher. He does not. And if we're going to talk about catalogs, yes, Chris has a great discography. However, as a fan, I can say that his discography sounds pretty much the same.
Agreed.
There is no difference in his music. Like, when Chris Brown comes out with an album, yes, he can come out with a 30 or 40 track album.
It's too much.
And you will enjoy it because you're a fan, but there's no growth in the music. Whereas Usher is not afraid to tap into other sounds. A lot of people didn't like his last album. I enjoyed it. There's one song on there that I play every single year for my birthday. I love that song. People like, who even knows that song? People that are Usher fans. I like the album prior to that. That's very near and dear to me for reasons that I won't get into. But that was in
Have to push that.
2016, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Not for reasons like that.
I don't know. I don't know anything. I know nothing. I'm just listening to you effervesce about Usher right now. You're effervescing right now. I'm going to look to the left hand and point to my man Aaron, because Aaron knows it's loud and clear. The difference between Chris Brown and Usher is that Usher is more of a crooner than a singer. Chris Brown has a voice, but Usher's more of a crooner. So, for example, if this was 1930, he'd be more like Sammy Davis Jr. than he would be more like a Stevie Wonder. You follow me? But wrapping this up in a bow, a Chris Brown Usher versus would be pretty magnificent, because just to have them dancing on stage back and forth, song for song, and generation for generation, because Usher's generation is 10 years older than Chris Brown's generation. So to see the generations, do you see how to see them prop up for their own generation? They'd be like, D Nice would be loving Usher because it's the CQ generation.
It would be nice to see them do a versus, but I think it would be more like a celebration, the way
It should be.
Jill Scott
And Erykah did.
Badu
That was
did
magnificent.
theirs.
That was magnificent.
They didn't want to.
I wish they did it
do a
again.
Versus against one
I
another.
wish they did it again, because they were both home. The verses where they were home. They should be on the stage. It'd be a great versus though. Just to see them out dance each other, I'd be laughing. It would
I
be.
don't even think Usher would try.
It would be
to
like
outdance
it would
Chris.
be like Bill Cosby when he was fighting Sandman Sims. He was doing the tap dancing. It'd be like challenge.
Oh, I remember that.
And then they would come out and they would all be dancing. But you're 1,000% correct about this, because Chris Brown's album, I don't know. I'm looking at the camera when I say this. I don't know how many times Chris Brown can keep talking about how he's going to fuck you. He made 24. This last album was 24 songs about how I'm going to get with you. Pretty much. And then the part that was a mistake is that he had all the right people, or all the right quote. He had some older people, I'm gonna say older, but he had some people who shot Megan Thee Stallion?
Oh, Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez is on the album. Okay.
I'm not a fan.
But then he has her on the album. Now when he has her on the album, I'm excited, because I'm thinking I'm gonna get some great acoustic.
The track was mediocre.
You're getting to my point. I'm thinking we'll get some great acoustic,
That
damn
song,
near,
he could've left off the album.
Babyface When Will I See You Again type stuff, with her playing the guitar
Nope.
and them going back and forth. No, he got her talking about how I'm gonna fuck you in 24 hours.
That song
That was
actually
insane.
very
It was a waste. It was a waste of bringing her in the studio. So I forget who else was on the album, because I remember after 8 songs I said, if I have to listen to, first it was a male. I don't want to listen to another male sing for an hour and a half about how he wants to fuck somebody else. That doesn't work for me as a male. And then I'm saying that after 10 albums, you would like to think he has the depth of perception to say, I've done enough of this, maybe do a little bit of that. Now, remember this conversation that you saw in the previous podcast that you noticed, I mentioned before, this is the problem when you don't have a real executive in the room. Because a real executive would say, you have 8 songs talking about fucking. You need to stop now and talk about your mom, life, something else.
No, he talks about sex, and he casually segues into pill popping. Like, he talks about that in the album too.
Right, so.
He talks about drugs not as openly as he should. Like, he throws it in there.
Right. Well, point proven. So, I now indoctrinate Chris Brown officially into the Uncle Club. He is officially Uncle Chris Brown.
Only because of where his peers are now. Because
Yeah.
if you think about it,
Yeah.
he's not really uncle status.
He is Uncle status.
Only, because he's been in the game since he's been 18, but not because of his age. Chris Brown is only 34?
That's uncle
If
status.
that- No, it's not.
Yes.
So people in their 30s are uncle and auntie status. First of all, I'm 41, and don't put me in no fucking auntie status.
You don't sing.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't even
The
matter.
status, let me look at the camera, explain what the status is. Uncle and auntie status is that point in your career where before you realize it, you've become older. And you're still making the same records, but the younger demographic has aged out and they're into something else. My famous phrase that I've said all the time is that if it was all about talent, then Aretha Franklin and Shaka Khan will still be the biggest singers of right now because nobody can out-sing them. I don't care who you are.
Maybe not Aretha, but
Okay.
Shaka a little shaky.
Okay, Shaka's definitely not shaky. Okay,
She's been a little shaky
okay,
lately,
okay,
she
but
has.
okay. So let me agree with you. A shaky Shaka. That was funny what I just said. Is still 95% better than anybody else on planet Earth. Earth. Not singing, Earth. The planet.
Okay.
Okay? So with that being the case, that's how you know they become uncles and aunts because they age out. Because if that's the case, then her wouldn't even have a career. Because based upon just opening your mouth, you'd be like, sit your ass down. You can't even compete. Because we're in a different town, so what it is. But it's not a problem. It's just a segue that naturally happens that sometimes the artists don't catch as it happens. So when I'm saying uncle status, I'm saying you've officially become this. I know you would like to think you're still, but you aren't. And it has nothing to do with age. In my personal opinion, it has to do with perception of the base when they age out. I always told everybody this. I said that when you are in entertainment, the winner is time. Because what happens is that if you are right now, if you are 22 years old right now, and you're into Burna Boy, and you're into Lil Durk, and you're into Lil Baby, that's all magnificent. What's going to happen in 10 years is that you're going to have a kid, you're going to have a family, you're going to have something else going on, and that disposable income that you spend on video games and movies and albums, it's not going to be there anymore. So now you age out and the next set of 20-year-olds come in and they like who they like. It's just what it is. Otherwise, 50 Cent and Jay-Z would still count. The bottom line is that fans of Jay-Z say, I love you, Jay, but I'm now doing this.
Leave Jay alone.
Okay, no, I'm bringing Jay into it because if Jay in that damn Kodak Black hair don't go away, there's going to be a problem. I'm saying what it is. This is why I do what I do. And I can say that because if he ever saw this, he'll say, that little, and it'd be a different conversation for a different reason. Anyway, I'm just getting back to uncle and aunt status. Chris Brown, by making 24 I Wanna Fuck You songs, has officially turned into Uncle Chris Brown. Last point and I'm off of it, because you said it best. If you take this Chris Brown album and throw it in the garbage, and pull out the last one from 5 years ago, the last two albums, it's the same damn album. Tweaks here.
Heartbreak on a Full Moon was not exactly like this last album.
So here's what I love about
There
Katia.
was some difference on that album.
Here's what I love about Katia. I'm saying if we have 12 songs, 9 of the songs are damn near the same song. What Katia is saying, but those other 3 are a little bit different. That's not my point. My point is that he's been making fuck you 24-hour songs for the past fucking 10 years.
But
It's time to stop. Time to stop.
Except, in my opinion, in Heartbreak on the Full Moon, that was not a full fucking song, fucking album to me. Like that album, there were like 35, 38 songs on there.
Stop there.
There were only like 3 songs that you
Jesus Christ.
can do without.
Do you see
And they
why I had you
weren't
come
all
here?
About sex.
You see why I had you
They were
come here?
not.
He has 35. You stop.
I mean, we can
Stop.
We can agree to disagree.
No, we can agree. You could be wrong.
No,
So
we can agree to disagree.
we could agree
because
that
there
you're
were certain
incorrect.
albums that I like that you may not necessarily like.
Jesus. Like what?
Like you said what?
Like who?
Like I didn't care for Kehlani's new album.
Klein's album's fire.
And you talked about it and
Klein's album's fire.
but that's your opinion.
That's what it is.
No.
I'm more experienced than you.
No. Because I don't know anybody that's really talking about that album in comparison
So now-
to her past work. I don't think that this album was really great like that, but that is my opinion.
Okay. I'm gonna let you be strong in your opinion. I'll let you be wrong in your opinion as well too, but it's okay. Point being is Chris Brown's Uncle Chris Brown. Now, the next person that has slid into, and y'all all gonna yell if y'all don't agree with me on this one, but it's absolutely the truth, who has slid into auntie status, especially in the past 2 weeks. Thank you very much. Welcome to the club. I know you don't care. I know you don't think you are, but welcome to the club, Miss Beyonce Knowles. The Renaissance album is absolutely a good album. If you are a fan absolutely purchase it. There's reasons to love it. There are 3-4 dance club records, but there's absolutely no growth and structure from her from this album, from the past couple of albums. And I ran into something amazingly scary. When the album came out, I was asking people, random people, did they have the album? And what I found was everybody over the age of 40 said yes. And a lot of people between the ages of 30 and below was all like, nah, I'm good.
Well, she made it for a certain demographic. I'm not.
No, she did. You know what I call this album? Her Madonna Vogue album. My man right there, he caught that right away. He's like, absolutely, right?
I haven't listened to every single song on the album. Like I'm still like listening and going through it.
I've listened to it 4 times.
And there are a few tracks that I like that stand out to me.
They do. But she's auntie status. Now, going back to the, this is not, how you said we agree to disagree thing. Mm-hmm. This is where this competes for me. Because when you speak about who people like right now as female singers, there's a new list of names that come out. Okay, that name used to start with Beyonce. That name used to start with Beyonce at this point. A lot of people like a lot of different things right now. Mm-hmm. Same thing with R&B on the same side, on the male side. When you say you like Chris Brown's not top 3 on that list. He's more Beyonce and Chris Brown for this generation, not in their career. For this generation, are getting to an honorable mention place, more so than the priority on the list place. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's also where the auntie thing comes into place. Heard the album like 3-4 times. I listened to it 3 times in a row, looking to be overly impressed. And I said, no, I'm just Beyonce okay with the album.
Oh, I don't have an opinion on it yet because I haven't like really listened to it all the way through. I just know
because the Chris Brown opinion
that
was.
I like. Yeah, and there are a few songs that I have passed on Chris Brown's album as well.
I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. So what albums are you listening to right now? Don't go old. Go now. Listen to Kalani. Kalani's good. Shut your mouth. Kalani's good.
It's okay.
I'm a smacker with the pillow in 2 seconds.
It's okay.
You're done. You're done.
The problem with Tally is if you don't agree with what he's saying, that means that it's
just
wrong.
not true. The problem with Tally is no. I'm gonna tell you the problem with Tally.
You're telling me that her album, like, because I don't like it personally,
no,
that I'm wrong.
No,
I think it's a great album.
No,
that's my opinion. Maybe I'll go back to it.
No. The reason why Tally is saying this out loud is for 2 reasons. Thank you, Aaron, for being here. Because I've sat behind the desk and have done this for a certain amount of time. So I know there are formulas to way things work and how they do work. From a standpoint of successful compared to good, there's a difference. The hybrid of successful and good is an album like The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. It's done properly and everybody loves it. It makes it a perfect album. It's Michael Jackson doing Off the Wall. It's Michael Jackson doing Thriller. But then there are albums like D'Angelo where it's fan base and it's style based and it's image based and it's musical based. Doesn't mean he's not going to be as big as Michael Jackson. It means that he's in a lane, and within that lane, all his fans love him in that lane, i.e. Maxwell, i.e. Erica, i.e. Jill Scott. But there is a difference between being Jill Scott compared to being Janet Jackson, because the Janet Jackson formula album is done a certain way. The point I'm expressing to you is that a Kalani album, because of how it's been A&R'd and put together, comes together more like a Janet Jackson album than it does like a Jill Scott album. That's what I'm saying, listen to Kalani. Because Kalani, you could put a white person, a gray person, a purple person, a blue person, they'll all say, I like something off that album. Whereas you put those same people in the room and play D'Angelo, somebody's gonna say, I don't fuck with him. That's why I'm mentioning it. Because it's a style, it's an image. I'm saying what gravitates to more a collective. And the way that Kalani's album's put together, where, for example, she has an album that, I'm going to say this to old heads, to you 90s babies. She has a song that samples So What You're Saying by EPMD. So hip-hop fans who don't even know who she is will say, I'm going to listen to that record. That never would before. Okay? On that same record, she has Justin Bieber. So now white people will say, I might listen to that record too. So that's what I'm saying. The way it's put together puts it in a place where it could be an everybody album, not just a specific album. At the end of the album, she has pop records, like Beyonce doing Breathe. So it's put together in a certain way. And then at the beginning of the album, there are 2 to 3 songs that if you're a Kehlani fan, it has that deep-rooted R&B bass. So I'm giving you a formula more so than right or wrong. So I understand if somebody doesn't get it, that's okay.
But me saying that I don't personally like the album doesn't mean that I don't get it.
I didn't say you didn't get it. I said the Kehlani album is great, and I gave you I gave you the hip.
But moments ago,
all right, here we go.
Moments ago, you said my opinion was wrong. That's my opinion. If I don't mesh
here we go.
with a particular album, that doesn't mean that I don't know music or I don't.
Here is the magnificent.
This is here. Not like an artist's album, and that could be the end of it.
Here is the magnificent thing that I love about the music industry, that is an issue with the music industry, that becomes a problem at times with the music industry. The way, gotta make sure I say this right, Aaron. Gotta make sure I say this right because I don't want to offend. Music industry is the only industry where, because you have a radio and an opinion, you can claim that you know the industry. We're in a room right now where if I have a camera and I have lighting, I cannot say I'm a photographer. Cannot say it. I have the basic tools. I'm in a room. I can point. I can think the lighting is great. I can think that's a great image to shoot. Does not make me a photographer. Okay? I've said this before on a deeper level. Just because I have a knife and I want to help people don't mean I can be a fucking doctor. There are skill sets you have to acquire to be in that place. The music industry is the only industry where, because you have a radio and an opinion and you listen to stuff for a certain amount of time, people indoctrinate themselves into a place to say, I know music. Now, what I can do right now, Aaron's going to love this, and it's not a criticism, okay? I can say right now, I'm going to prove that to you in one statement. Sing a note in the A sharp. The room gets quiet. Because if you know music, you know what that is. That's a level of understanding music. So now being humble, but being respectful, is that the reason why I say what I am saying is because I have played piano for X amount of years. I have been in bands for X amount of years. I have sung in choirs for X amount of years. I have worked at certain places where it was my job to be responsible for that one. So as a photographer that's actually shot photo shoots, I have a little bit more interest and intel or depth of perception as I speak about the industry. That's the only point I'm making. Now, I'm not criticizing, because the reason why I adore you and the reason why you're here is because you absolutely have that skill set. But like a person that wants to shoot, that can throw around, I'm gonna say this to make my man smile. Like a person that wants to throw around roundhouses, it does not mean you're a fucking black belt. And sometimes you need to be taught and said, here's how you cut your corner. You're not bending your hips. You're not cutting your corner here. And when I do that to people who have a radio and an opinion, they spew out how they feel rather than recognizing, you know what? I'm not saying my opinion is wrong. I'm not saying my opinion is right. But let me talk to the photographer who does this for a living and knows about lighting, and maybe I can learn a little bit to be a better photographer, or at least understand photography a little bit more.
So you're insinuating that because I was not in the music industry like you were.
It's not a music industry thing.
No.
It's not an industry thing.
Okay, so because I wasn't behind the scenes.
I'm not saying that either.
You are though.
No, what I'm saying is,
all I said was I don't care for the Kehlani album, and you made it this whole.
I so did not. No. Okay, so for clarity, you not liking the Kehlani album. Watch this.
And I didn't say it wasn't.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking at the camera.
Album. I just said it wasn't.
Katia,
I listened to it and I didn't really care for it. That's all I said.
Here's the clarity I'm making right now. Katia not liking the Kehlani album is no different, and it's perfectly okay if somebody doesn't like a Bjork album. That's 1,000% okay. No problem there. The point that I am making is that because I have sat behind a piano, not in the music industry, because I sat behind a piano and I was taught how to play chords, I have the intrinsic skill set to understand the difference of why Bjork is great compared to why D'Angelo is great, compared to how Kalani is great, because I've actually done the actual skill set that is required to be around the situation. Doesn't mean I know more than you or know less than you. I'm saying what the skill set is. I said it very clearly before. Because
but that don't sound like, now y'all are here, that doesn't sound like he is taking it away because I said, and let me just get my
Please.
point out. All I said was I don't personally care for this particular Kehlani album. I have other albums by her downloaded. This particular album didn't do it for me. Tally is looking at it and he's saying that it's not, but he's looking at it like, I've been in the industry. I know music. I know sound. I know how this goes. You're not going to tell me that this album is not good because I hear, like, I'm listening to what you're saying.
No.
And you are.
No.
Like, you're not, maybe you're not intentionally saying.
Wait, hold on. You're about to say a great, I'm going to let you finish in 1 second because you're 1,000% correct. Because you're saying an amazing word that goes both ways. You just said it may not be your intention, but
that's how it came out.
Follow me. So it may not be your intention with your opinion about the album, but it may impact me who has been around music a certain way. It goes both ways, my love.
But he said I'm wrong.
Don't.
Did he not start the conversation?
Of course.
When I'm saying I'm wrong.
I am saying the reason, this is why I go back to, I say my point very clearly. The reason why I am, for lack of a better phrase, attacking, because that's how it feels to you, your statement is because, and if it's not, the reason why I'm saying it is because I'm giving you the foundation of what it takes to be involved in industry. And the curse of the music industry is that people don't take that to heart. They do not, because of how they, quote, feel. Okay? And I'm telling you that the music is the only industry, the music industry is the only industry where that flies. It doesn't fly in any other industry.
But I'm the consumer.
No, listen. No, I'm not. No, Katia, my love. All I'm saying is, and I want to be clear, then we can move on, we can talk about anything you want. All I'm saying is, and I'll make it simple, okay? And I'm using different industries on purpose so it doesn't stick to music, okay? Mm-hmm. I can love hair, and I could look at somebody's hairstyle and say, I love your hair. You can sit back and say, you know nothing about hair. And I have to be strong enough to say, no, it's my opinion. No. If you're going to talk about hair, yes, you can have your opinion. But you can't talk about hair like you're a connoisseur of hair. You can't talk about it like you're a hairstylist. You can't talk about hair like you've done photo shoots and video shoots, because you should know some basic elements of how you deal with hair. Okay. And all I'm saying is that when you have all these opinions, not you, that's why I said industry or people, radio opinions, is that it would be nice, it would be respectful to the industry, to be very honest with you. Okay? This is why people have jobs in the industry like they don't know what they're doing, because they haven't been trained. They don't have a skill set. They can't read music, but yet they want to be connoisseurs of running music. And then the other flip side, if I'm switching it so me and you could get off of Kalani, okay? Then when people are successful, okay? Like for argument's sake, I'm just saying I respect because I know the person. When Irv Gotti does Murder Inc., okay? But Irv Gotti can't play a lick of music. But because of significance like that, people say, well, I can do that stuff too. All I'm saying is that, respectfully, before you open a catering business, why don't we just learn how to cook? That's all I'm asking. And I'm saying that the people who are involved care to say, I ain't got to be bothered with that because I just like food. Care to say, maybe I should learn a little bit about it. That's all I'm saying. Because the step that I'm taking is I know a little bit about it. That's all I'm stating. Kalani album aside. And respectfully, I've sat in this position and had this conversation 10 dozen times. Because not that it's the right thing or the wrong thing, and I'm being very honest when I say this, not you. What I'm saying is the truth. That's why I'm saying the things about the photography thing. Okay? Because you can't sit here and talk about being a photography expert because you just look at pictures in the book. You can have an eye for it. You can say, I think this is beautiful. But the photographer's going to say, yeah, because they use this type of camera or doing that. That has to be respected. We don't do that with music industry. We don't do it.
So many things that I want to say and that I can say, but I'm respectfully just going to close the conversation off with the whole Kehlani and say I still don't care for the fucking album.
Okay.
And that's the end of that. Point blank, period. I don't care if I know the music industry or if I'm sitting at the table with execs. No, because here's what you
I said 4 times. I'm off Kehlani. I said your opinion is your opinion. You're fine.
Right, but you said it and then you kind of like gave.
I'm giving you experience.
But you're not letting me speak. You said you're off it and everyone has their opinion. However, you then stated, like you gave your little examples of
they're not little.
Kind of like, a person doesn't have. You're comparing. I take it as you're looking at it like, oh well, she doesn't really know what it takes. And let me finish. She doesn't know what it takes to make this song or make this album or do what it takes. So why should she have an opinion? I can have an opinion. I'm the damn consumer. Like these people, these artists that go in the room with people like yourself or other A&Rs, they're trying to sell their music to me, to you, to them. They want us to like it outside of you. So if I say I don't like something, it can just be I don't like it. I'm not taking away the girl's talent. I know she has a beautiful voice. I know she can sing. I know she can create good music. All I said was, I didn't care for this particular album. And you started out by saying, I'm wrong. Why? Because I don't like it? Like it's just this particular Kehlani album that I don't really care for. Why is that a big issue?
It's not a big issue.
It is because you started the conversation by saying I'm wrong.
And I ended the conversation. Listen. I ended the conversation with 4 examples of clarity by comparing it to how it's different compared to different industries. And I've said each time before I made those comparisons, your opinion is absolutely fine to have that opinion. All I'm saying it in one sentence, okay? To talk about war, don't just say, I don't like war. Care to say, what's happening in Russia? What's happening in the Ukraine? That's all I'm saying. But a lot of people are just doing and saying, I just don't like war. And I'm like, that's not realistic. And that's not really helping or growing or moving us forward. You cannot like it and have that opinion and be strong about it. But as a culture and as a people, I just like to do a little bit more. Because what we don't do is like to cut those corners and just say I have the opinion. That's how I feel. I learned to say I have that opinion and maybe I should know a little bit about it. So if I'm in a room with the right person, I can speak about it and speak on it and not just opinionate and effervesce about it. On a deeper level, which is a completely different conversation, we could fight about that. That's one of my major problems with my culture. Because my culture as a whole likes to do that, like to cut that corner and opinion themselves into a situation rather than inform themselves about a situation. Kehlani is bad. You don't like it. Got it loud and clear. Okay, I'm sorry. I forget. I'm sorry. Correction. You don't care for the Kehlani album.
Great. I don't like the tracks.
Okay, you don't care for the Kehlani album. I have a musical reason to discuss why that might be a little bit different. We agree to disagree. You want to come back and do it again? Did you poison my fucking food?
I'm fine. I'm completely fine. That's you.
No,
this whole diatribe.
It's not a diatribe. If I want people, this again, and this is a good way to wrap this up. Okay, you can't mistake information because it may or may not pertain to you, whether it's truthful or not, as something and dismiss it as something that's not. Okay? If Ben Carson knows about talking about surgery, we can't sit back and say, He's doing a diatribe about how to separate babies that are conjoined at birth. Yo, he knows his shit. And he's talking to you about it. And you could be informed about it if you want. Or you could be like, Ben Carson's a Republican, as a Democrat, fucking hate him, fuck him. But it doesn't mean he's wrong in what he's saying. And what's painful with my culture when it comes to entertainment is that when education comes into play, sometimes it becomes a little bit of, I don't want to be bothered with that. I don't know if that's right. I'm not agreeing with you, disagreeing with you. I don't know if that's right. Because we're forced to learn anything else. You want to do another one? Coming back?
I have no more comments about that.
Good, fine. No, I'm not having an artist conversation. I'm in a music conversation. I'm sorry.
I'm fine.
I'm sorry. I treated you like Quan. Quan will be like, oh my gosh, she finally got it.